The really prolific and consistent producers that finish everything are genuinely doing less than what you're doing. I want to show you how this works. And I've got these two tracks here, right? This track here is something that I have finished, and it took me one session or a session and a little bit. Whereas this one, I've been working on the arrangement for a very long time. And I can tell you that the difference between these two things is best explained by something that I call the finishing budget. So today, that's my mission. I'm going to break this down and show you how, if you were to use this method, it would guarantee that you'd get to the end of your next track. Before we get to the real meat of this video, I want to take a moment to diagnose this problem so you can see it for yourself, okay? Every music producer has a lever that they can pull on. When you get to a point in your track and you're like, oh, it's starting to feel tricky here, I don't know what to do, you can reach for this lever and give it a pull, and you might be able to work your way through it. It's a really natural way of fighting problems that arise in our track, and there's nothing ultimately wrong with it, but it does come with some problems. And this lever that I'm talking about is spending more effort and willpower and time trying to brute force your way through. And I can't blame anyone. In fact, I do this all the time. But every time you pull that lever, it comes at a cost. And this brings us into the next part of the video, which is the goalpost problem. This is the part that makes it tricky, because sometimes you get halfway through the track and genuinely the solution to this is not to reach for the lever. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. How do you distinguish between those two things? How do you know? Now, the answer to this question is going to be different for all of us, and it comes down to what you're good at and what you're not so good at, your strengths and your weaknesses. Everyone's going to have different strengths and weaknesses. That's just natural. And in music production, when you're always looking at the goalposts, when you're always looking at the end goal, when you're always looking towards the finish line, then sometimes you miss the solution that's right in front of you. But consistent music producers do it differently. And this is the point where I'll park this analogy and start on with the rest of the 100 analogies that are just going to come to my brain as I'm talking. The difference between consistent music producers in all of this is that they have a very clear and deep understanding of, from the journey from start to finished, where are all of the points that create friction for them? And whether conscious or unconscious, instead of working through those things, and instead of trying to get better at jumping over those hurdles, instead of trying to strengthen your legs so you can jump higher, all you do is you just move the hurdle to the side and walk around it. They just don't do those things. I know a bunch of producers that get great results from not really doing any mixing because it's a friction point that they just rather not do. They understand that their music could sound better, but they just don't do it. Consistent music producers aren't just better at everything. They're better at just understanding what are the things are that they don't want to do and just deciding not to do them. And like I said, it only comes, whether it is subconscious or not, with an understanding of your process and where those friction points are. So before we get to the most important, the whole point of this video, the finishing budget, it's a visual exercise that I actually want to take you through, but I want to explain something that's going to set this up in a really nice way, because you need to understand the ceiling before that makes any sense. So Luke, what are you talking about when you're talking about the ceiling? There is only a certain amount of effort that you can physically put into a track, a certain amount of times that you can pull that lever until you ultimately can't work on a track anymore. Whether that threshold point is you just getting sick and bored of the track, or whether that's the point where the track just no longer feels like you stop identifying with it. The thing is that when you're at the start of making a track, when you're at the starting line, it's really tempting to sprint at the start of the marathon, because it feels like when you sprint at the start of the marathon, that the trophy that you're going to get at the end is going to be greater. It's tempting in the way that at the finish line, there's a little candy waiting for you. And if you spend more effort, then that's going to be a sweeter result at the end. But that isn't necessarily the case. What actually happens when you spend more effort into something, when you put more time into something, is you get more invested in it. The track that you spend hours laboring away makes you feel like you have to finish it. If the process of you finishing a track start to finish is just too long and you can't physically do all the steps because you run out of resources halfway, if you only have 5 biscuits and your process requires you to spend 10 of those, then this is going to create an endless cycle of unfinished music because you're always going to get stuck halfway through when you run out of resources. And what breaks this understanding is the realization that one, that ceiling exists, and that two, instead of it being an infinite resource that I can just draw from, it's actually more like a balancing act. And so this is where the finishing budget comes in. This orange box is representing all of the resources that you have to spend when you're finishing your tracks. And you've got a few different categories in which you want to allocate those resources, okay? So these were some slides that came from my coaching program, Play It Loud, and I was talking about the release process. So that's why I put these 4 categories here. But you could break this down into as many categories as you want. If you put all of your resources into one of these categories, then you have none left to allocate for the other ones. If you spend a year trying to create a perfect idea, or maybe it's something more like this. You're spending a bit of time creating, and then you spend ages arranging to the point where you get sick of your track and you just never get to the mixing, finishing, and releasing stage. Or even this one. This is what I tend to do, is just spend all of my effort in all of them. I spend as much effort as I can putting into all of the different categories, and then it just never gets finished. It just never gets released because this bar, this threshold of what is good enough is so high. It's put all the way up here that I have to spend so much resources to get them to be good enough every single time. And this is just physically hard to do by nature. So this is how we solve the problem. We bring this good enough or threshold bar down. We lower it. All of a sudden, you don't have to spend as many resources. You don't have to spend as much effort and time. Or maybe let's say you're making hypnotic techno and that requires you to have high investment costs into the creative process. Then you can spend a little bit less time with everything else and you get signed to a label so you don't have to do any of the release. Then you're intentionally skewing the graph so it looks something like this. The thing is that as over time you get more efficient at making good music, then you don't have to spend as much time in the creative process. You don't have to spend days and days and days making a cohesive loop that sounds really good. You can actually do it pretty quickly and it still sound really good. These resources that you spend, they're not directly related with how good the music is, with the quality of the music. So the answer to this question is not trying to figure out how to jump over a higher bar, but how to just physically lower the bar to the point where you can just walk over it. You can just walk to the finish line. The finish line feels really familiar. You know how to get there. Because every time you get to that finish line, you get the little candy at the end. And if you gather together enough of those candies, then that's where the self-confidence comes from. You need to get to the finish line. You need to finish the track to build the evidence and prove to yourself that what you're doing is working to the point where you can build self-confidence in your process and ultimately identify with being a music producer. No matter how skilled you are, it only comes with you getting to the finish line. And that's the important point. But won't my tracks sound worse, Luca, if I do that? If I spend less effort on a track, won't it just sound worse? I've seen this countless times. I actually see it on a very much daily basis. If you prioritize getting to the finish line, then you will improve long-term, in a long-term basis, much, much quicker than if you are trying to focus on each individual point of the process. So the answer to all of this, the fix, the solution, Luca. What is the solution? Tell it to me. Consistency is not perfect. It's rough and it's messy. And it's all about understanding what goes on in the process. Because if you don't understand what goes on, you don't know how to personalize it and specify it in a way that you know how to get to the end. So instead of another YouTube video where you're watching someone like me just shout at you through a screen telling you what to do, I think it'd be much more useful if you were to join me live on call. So that's what I'm doing. I'm hosting a free workshop. It's called Find Your Process. And the point of it, you're going to be doing this yourself, by the way, because I can't do this for you. I'm going to be giving you the resources for you to find your own process, for you to build your own way of working that's tailored and specific to you. So there's more information on the workshop and how to join me in the link in the description. But if you were to take one thing from this video, if you were to walk away with nothing else, a lot of the time people come to me with a problem and the fix is just to do less. Understanding all of the things that you need to do in your process to actually get to the finish line, and then lowering that bar to the point where you can just walk there. because it's really, really hard to be consistent if every time it takes an absolute mammoth effort. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something today, and maybe I'll see you in the workshop.